So after you're 40, 50, even 60 years old, what's the point of keeping yourself in shape? Why bother? I mean, you know, you've worked your job, you're kind of approaching retirement, or maybe you have retired. Don't your problems all just kind of end? Don't all the challenges of life just sort of go away? Well, I think the answer to that question is no. I think the only time your problems stop is when they put you in a box. One of the problems you're for sure going to face if you don't stay in shape is the problem that 70% plus of Americans, probably worldwide, that are overweight or even morbidly obese, the problems that they're going to face. Now when I say, do your problems end, or should you stop staying in shape, or what's the point beyond 40, 50, 60? I'm not even going to 70, because if you're already morbidly obese or overweight, you're probably not going to make it to 70. But you know, there's a lot of medical technology available now and that's coming up that's going to make it possible to live longer and longer and longer. And the worse shape you're in, the more miserable those years are going to be. Problems never go away. In fact, problems are where you find growth. Problems are where you find satisfaction in solving the problem. And it's a lot easier to solve the problems when you're physically capable of solving the problems. If your body's run down, if you're out of shape, if you're overweight, and you're at that point in life where you're in such bad condition that sitting on the couch is an effort, that getting out of bed is an effort, those problems are going to be overwhelming. But on the other hand, if you're in good physical condition, you're able to tackle problems from a whole different perspective. So when I was in my 40s, I had an opportunity to build my first multi-million-dollar company, my first company that generated millions of dollars of revenue per year. And I thought, wow, when I got that done, my problems were going to be over. I lived very, very well for a number of years, but the problems didn't end. In fact, building that company, the problems just got bigger and bigger. Well, the rewards got bigger and bigger, but the problems didn't end. So by the time I was in my 50s, that company had made me pretty well off, but the economy changed, things changed, and anyway, that company I kind of rode that company into the ground. I was able to sell it. And because I was still in pretty good physical condition, I was able to bounce right back and build a second company that also was doing multiple millions of dollars in revenue. But in both cases, the problems didn't end, the problems just got bigger. So what's my point about that? Well, my point is, problems are just there. Problems are always going to be in your life. You know, until you die, you face problems. And the better condition you're in, you know, when I built that second company, my condition got terrible. I was so stressed out because of all the problems that I failed to keep myself in good shape. And that company, when it came off the rails, it was actually too successful. It was an interesting problem. You can be too successful and you can actually not be able to keep up with the cash flow problems that you have. So another big problem the biggest problem with that one was that I allowed myself to get completely out of shape. I'll show you some pictures of that. And it was very difficult to bounce back from that. That was the first time in my life that I took a whole bunch of time off and did absolutely nothing except drink whiskey and get in worse shape and think that, I don't know, just wait for my problems to go away. Well, they don't go away. They just don't go away. The point is that staying in shape, getting back in shape, in fact, I didn't really start to get relief from any problems until I started getting myself back in shape. I hit a point where something just clicked one day, and my sons and I decided we were going to start competing in Spartan races, which are a very physically challenging race. So I set about getting back in shape to do that, and that allowed me to build another company, this time, that also did multiple millions of dollars in revenue every year. And that was would not have been possible without being in good physical condition. I think we can really overestimate the importance of money when it comes to retirement, and underestimate the importance of our health. I mean, most of us, we do tend to focus on that career, that job, that somehow making enough money to be able to ride off into the sunset when our golden years come. A lot of things can happen, especially in the world today, where things change so rapidly because of technology, because of the information that's available out there, that in spite of all of the planning that you do from a financial standpoint in order to retire and to live your golden years in relative comfort and ease, things can happen and things can change. And if you're not taking care of your health, you won't be able to bounce back if you need to. And it's hard to emphasize enough how important your health is compared to how important the financial side of your retirement is going to be. If you don't have your health, even if you have the money, you can't really enjoy your retirement. You know that you think you're going to go out there and go golfing every day, and boy, if you can't even walk the 18 holes to play a game of golf, how tragic would that be? Throughout the times when I was making great money with a job, or the great money I was making with the businesses that I built, there were a couple things that were common to all of those different scenarios. One of them was that whenever my health and fitness was at the top of its game, so were my businesses, so was my financial situation at the top of the game. And when it wasn't, when my health and fitness was bad, was off of its game, everything else was as well. Now I could sit and rationalize and say, well, maybe the fact that the businesses were going south, or that there were challenges, were the cause of my health and fitness being bad. But I could also just as easily say the health and fitness led to the other problems. The other thing that was common during all of that was that the money I was making was never as satisfying. In fact, I can't say it was ever really satisfying at all, other than it was a measure of whether I was succeeding at what I was doing. But the most satisfying thing was always the struggle, going through the struggle, the complications, the problems that arise when you're building a business, going through those problems, having the mental clarity and the physical capacity to be able to face those problems face to face and to solve them. And when you solve those problems, when I solved those problems, it was always way more satisfying than having more money to buy one more thing, go on one more trip, do something that the money allows. Don't get me wrong, money's a good thing too. You got to have both. But the point is, I think what I've learned is that satisfaction comes from your feeling of not so much have you got enough money, but comes in can you conquer problems, can you face down adversity and win. So problems are going to come at you for your whole life, cradle to grave. And you spend a great portion of your life working on solving the problem of being financially capable of retiring, of enjoying the second half or second quarter or second 1/10 of your life, depending on your health situation. And just like the effort that you put into that takes effort to put the deposits in your health bank that are going to allow you to enjoy those golden years. And it's a lot like the whole process is a lot the same. You make deposits in your bank daily, weekly, monthly. As you age, you make deposits, you make investments. And these things, if you look at them from one day to the next, don't make an awful lot of difference. But over the course of time, it builds and builds until finally you've got a pretty nice nest egg. Same thing happens with your physical fitness. It doesn't take a ton of time and effort to just think about what you're eating a little bit and eat right, number one. Number two, get enough sleep. And number three, exercise. I'm in the middle of working on a car, and I stopped just to do my quick workout for today. This is gonna take maybe 20 minutes for me to do my upper body workout today, and that's a deposit. Now I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and have these huge muscles that I grew just from doing this exercises, but I just made a deposit in my health bank that will continue to accumulate. And it, just like your bank account, it has compound interest. It builds on itself. Your metabolism goes up, your muscles get bigger, stronger, your ability to move gets better, and the more all those things get better, the more you can put effort into making them better, and so they just continue to build on themselves. I hope you got some value from this video, and if you did, please share it with your friends. Please like and subscribe. It helps me continue to try and put out content. And as always, thanks for watching.